Being one of the strongest characters on the strongest crew is no joke for Scopper Gaban, and One Piece only has a few like the red hair pirates with Ben Beckman and Lucky Roo, to the Whitebeard pirates Marco and the Diamond Jozu, to Blackbeard pirates Aokiji and Shiryu, to Luffy's crew of Zoro and Sanji. Even the Rocks crew was scary with their Whitebeard Shiki Big Mom 3-man combo right there, or should I say 2-man 1-woman. All I'm trying to say is there's a limit on how strong Scopper Gaban is because of his captain Roger, who he automatically scales below, but Luffy fighting him will confirm where his power lies in the verse, so let's do a deep dive before this takes place. Now everybody knows Scopper Gaban only had one legitimate fight, and it wasn't in the manga, it was in the anime during the Whitebeard Pirates versus the Roger Pirates, and that was against Kozuki Oden. The reason why this is legitimate is because Kozuki Oden is a beast. For us to scale Scopper Gaban, we still have to do like a rough scaling of Kozuki Oden. And to start off, Kozuki Oden during Wano in his beginning stages of his career as a fighter, his biggest feat was defeating Ashura Doji, this Yonko commander level character who did pretty well against Jack during the Wano arc. So this right here means that Scopper Gaban is minimum, he cannot be below Yonko commander level. Like it's impossible for Scopper Gaban to be like this. I know it's kind of dumb for me to reiterate this, but you gotta get this out the way. Then there's Kozuki Oden, who as soon as he sees pirates come to Wano, he has a Konkurozaki clash with Whitebeard. Now, in the anime, they actually go in more in depth in this fight, and Whitebeard actually overpowers Kozuki Oden. But still, to have a prime Whitebeard Konkurozaki clash with you shows that you're no joke. It means that he's not prime Whitebeard level, but he's able to Konkurozaki clash prime Whitebeard. That's one thing for Kozuki Oden's rough power scaling here. Then there's Kozuki Oden with the Divine Departure scenario. Roger is so excited to fight this samurai with his Supreme Great Sword Ace, and he pulls out his Divine Departure. And honestly, this is a prime Roger who Kaido said Haki transcends all, the Pirate King, went up against Roxy Zebek, just a monster of a character. And he did a Divine Departure, and Kozuki Oden got sent flying, but he got back up. To get back up from that devastating attack really was impressive for Kozuki Oden's durability. Now, of course, this also scales him below Pirate King level, because I believe that Roger and Whitebeard are Pirate King level, so in their prime. So it scales Kozuki Oden not to Pirate King level, but nobody thought Scopper Gaban was going to be Pirate King level anyways. For context, Eustace Kid coming off a Big Mom win, and Killer, who came off a pretty impressive Worst Generation Hawkins win, got one-shotted by Shanks' Divine Departure. Now, there is, of course, the whole situation of Eustace Kid's damn punked exploding on himself, and Killer not even having enough time to actually stop the blowback from Divine Departure. So there's a lot of context there for why they both got one-shotted, but at the end of the day, the Divine Departure from Shanks, I believe Roger's Divine Departure with 2 arms is stronger than Shanks' Divine Departure with one arm. Roger had the strongest haki. I believe this was showing how devastating Kozuki Oden was, honestly. And the last thing I want to talk about is Kozuki Oden and his fight with Kaido. He fought Kaido, who in my opinion, Kaido is the pinnacle of Yonko level. And Kozuki Oden fought him and scarred him and took him down. And honestly, you could have beat him if there was no distraction, if I'm being completely honest. Kozuki Oden mastered Enma. To master Enma, you have to have Konkurozaki coding. So that's what he did against Kaido. And this is after he got his buffs of joining Whitebeard Pirates and joining the Roger Pirates. So for him to do this, if Kozuki Oden can scar Kaido, I personally believe Scopper Gaban would have done well against Kaido in his prime. And for context, Zoro uses Enma as well, and it takes a while during the Wano arc for Zoro to actually reach King of Hell mode, where he's mastered Enma with his Konkurozaki coding. And Zoro scarred Kaido earlier in the rooftop, but he wasn't able to knock him down. Zoro, in my opinion, was at the beginning of the rooftop was king level. And honestly, I think at the end of the Wano arc, Zoro reaches Admiral level, in my personal opinion. Not like the Kizaru level and everything, but like base like Green Bull, Fujitora, around that level with his Konkurozaki coding. So what I'm trying to say is, Scopper Gaban in his prime, it has to be above Admiral level, in my opinion, just off of the Kozuki Oden scaling. Now, if you want to scale Scopper Gaban in his old age, we don't look at Kozuki Oden, who he fought. We look at Silva's Rayleigh, who they say he's rival to, the left hand, the right hand of the Pirate King, the wings of the Pirate King. And the first thing we look at Rayleigh's power scaling is he fought an Admiral. In his old age, he fought an Admiral, and it was to a tie. He fought Kizaru to a tie. Yes, he was panting, and his stamina was gone, but he cut Kizaru a bit. He was keeping up in speed with Kizaru, and he didn't really go crazy with his Konkurozaki coding. So if I'm being completely honest, Rayleigh, a lot of people like to give Rayleigh slack here saying that he's below Kizaru, but if I'm being honest, we don't know who to win that fight. Yes, it was looking a little rough for Rayleigh, But if Rayleigh went crazy with his Kakurazaki coding, he could have won. So yes, I think Rayleigh, this kind of confirms that Rayleigh in his old age is minimum Admiral level just from this fight with Kizaru. And then is, of course, the whole signature of after Wano, Rayleigh comes out with his Kakurazaki coding, showing that Rayleigh's haki is next level, and he sees Blackbeard, and Blackbeard runs off. Now, Blackbeard runs off because of Rayleigh's reputation in his prime. Rayleigh mentions how he used to be an apprentice on Whitebeard's ship, so Blackbeard's seen how strong Rayleigh was back in the days, so Blackbeard didn't want to risk it. But Rayleigh confirms that he wasn't strong enough to defeat Blackbeard at the strength he is now, the Yonko strength he is now. This is a Blackbeard that is extremely powerful with the Gurgur no Mi and the Yami Yami no Mi, and has pretty decent haki, so he would have beat Rayleigh in his old age. This to me confirms that Rayleigh is not Yonko level in his old age. He is Admiral level in his old age. Now, if you want to go a little bit deeper into the scaling of Scopper Gaban, we could go to this whole situation of him being on God Valley, telling Roger that he doesn't get to have dibs on who he wants to fight. And the Roger Pirates fought a year ago. They already fought the Rocks Pirates a year ago, so this is their rematch. And Roger, of course, greatest foe was Rocks. We know that was his matchup. So a Silver's Rayleigh would have to fight Whitebeard. And a lot of people think that Figure Line Garland fought Whitebeard, but still, Silver's Rayleigh would have to, if he doesn't fight Whitebeard, he's fighting Shiki. And if Scopper Gaban is fighting someone, he's going to fight Big Mom. Shiki and Big Mom were incredibly powerful at this time. They were in their young age, honestly. So if Scopper Gaban is fighting Shiki and Big Mom, who in their prime were Yonko, legitimate Yonko level, that means that you have to kind of give it to Scopper Gaban being Yonko level. Just think about this. Shiki, in all honesty, he fought Garp and Sengoku and destroyed half of Marineford. That is insane that he did that. Of course, there's the Ed War 2 as well and whatnot, but he was going up against Roger. You gotta give respect, and Garp and Sengoku. And he escaped and pulled down. He had an OP Devil Fruit. Like, Shiki's, if Scopper Gaban did fight Shiki, there's a lot of feats for Shiki to make Scopper look good. Now, what we've seen from Scopper's introduction isn't much, and the reason why I'm power scaling is because I know he's about to show it off next chapter. We have a break this week, so I thought, let me just give my early opinion on how strong I think Scopper Gaban. I like to guess and see if I'm right, more so than just look at the confirmed facts in the past. But if I'm being completely honest, the chapter does mention him feeling a strange surge of haki, so he pulled up for smoke. And that strange haki, of course, is from the Magic Circle, Figureland Shamrock. He seems to have really good haki at old age. Then there's Zoro, who said that you seem like an expert. So Zoro calling out that Scopper Gaban looks like a master fighter also gives him a lot of good looks when it comes to his power and scaling. Then of course there's Shanks. Shanks scaled above him, and maybe even Loki as well, because he said the only man that was able to stop Loki was Shanks, and Gaban has been living on Elbaf for 20 years, and he has a scar on him, so he might have got that scar from Loki. So this could scale Scopper Gaban to Admiral level. Loki could be scaled to Yonko level, and Shanks might even reach that Pirate King level scaling if it's all said and done when it comes to how they're scaling these characters, honestly. And that kind of makes the most sense right now. I loved when Oimi was gassing him up. The giant from Eddie's Lobby was gassing him up, calling him the Mountain Eater, rivaling Rayleigh, defeated hundreds of enemies for Goldie Roger to get him to the hospital. Like, I love those feats. I love those lore, but it's still not a legitimate cool feat when it comes to a character. Feats are from characters. If you fight another legit character, like Akano beat Aokiji, that was one of the greatest feats during the time skip because he fought a legitimate Admiral level character and won in a 1v1 fight. I like feats like that. So Scopper Gaban doesn't have any feats like that yet, but one thing, he has a lot of lore that makes him look cool, badass hype, and as a top tier Roger Pirate King crew member, and as a Sanji fan, you gotta root for Scopper Gaban being strong in his old age. Now, his last fight that I have to talk about, and you guys might get angry at me for rambling, and this probably is the one I'm gonna ramble about the most, is Monkey D Luffy. Monkey D Luffy has the most controversial scaling in the One Piece verse right now, because when he beat Kaido, I was excited. I'm like, yo, Luffy's top 5 in the verse. He's legit. But Egghead Island kind of left some question marks, and let me explain. When Luffy beats Kaido with Gear 5th, yes, I know he got help from the Red Scabbards and Yamato, and Kaido's lifting Onigashima, and Zoro scarred him. I can go on and on of how much help that Luffy got. But you have to understand, Kaido got a really good hit on him as well, too, when it comes to forcing him to go to Gear 5th. So when the Guernica, the CP0 agent, distracted him. So it wasn't like it was completely one-sided when it comes to help, in a sense. But yes, when Gear 5 beat Kaido, it wasn't like a full 1v1 Gear 5 beating Kaido. And what we know now in Egghead Island, if Luffy would just straight up came out with his Gear 5, he probably wouldn't beat Kaido, if I'm being to be honest. Even Luffy knows that Kaido was getting weaker and weaker as the fight was going on. So yeah, he probably wouldn't be in the rooftop as well. I have to mention the rooftop as well. So yeah, Luffy is not Kaido level, which is gonna maybe anger a lot of fans, but I don't think he's Kaido level. I think he's when I say Kaido level, I don't think Luffy is stronger than Kaido right now when it comes to what we've seen. I think Luffy got stronger after Wano though. I think Luffy always gets buffs after the arc, after he beats the character. So if Luffy fought Kaido, it'll be a very extreme diff fight again. But I might give the edge to Kaido because of Gear 5's stamina issues and whatnot. Even in Egghead Island, Luffy with one punch was able to put Kizaru down for a while. But the thing is, stamina issues had him gone down for a while too, where Kizaru had to sneak him food on Egghead Island for Luffy to get back up. But when Luffy uses Gear 5, if Luffy's able to use Gear 5 for a long extended time, he's above Kaido. He's above all these characters. But that Gear 5 nerf is really bad when it comes to top tier fights, because top tier fights are not just quickly, they're so extended. So yeah, we've seen against the Gorosei as well. The Gorosei look extremely powerful. Luffy did well, but it's all about the stamina issues. So yes, that's Luffy's scaling right now. Luffy's Gear 5 is nearly Pirate King level. I think it's pinnacle Yonko level, but because he has the nerfs, he's low tier Yonko level. He's not Admiral level. I'm not going to put Luffy Admiral level because he pretty much with one hit to Kizaru's head put him down. It's where Kaido got back up when Luffy hit him with the head, that extendo head hit that you guys all know what I'm talking about. So yes, Luffy is low tier Yonko level. So if low tier Yonko level is destroying Scopper Gaban is not Yonko level. He might not even be Admiral level. But if low tier Gear 5 Yonko level Luffy is actually struggling with Scopper Gaban might be pinnacle Admiral level. It might even reach low tier Yonko level. I might have to even scale up Rayleigh as well too. So yeah, Luffy scaling matters to Scopper Gaban because they're about to go down. Now I want to say one thing before I actually give you guys my thoughts on how strong Scopper Gaban. A lot of people are looking at Sanji and his scaling right now. Sanji's scaling is pretty interesting. We know Sanji with his Germa awakened abilities, plus adding his armor and haki, can create hotter flames that are blue flames, Ifrit Jamba, that are able to mid-diff Queen. If I'm being honest, Sanji mid-diff Queen, it was easy. It was okay, I'm not saying easy like a low diff, but it was a mid-diff. Queen got sent flying. So I believe that Sanji can mid-diff Queen. That would be interesting to where Sanji's scaling is right now, because I still have Zoro scaled above Sanji. I know Sanji fans are gonna kill me for that, but because of the Kankasaki coding, I can't deny Kankasaki coding is hacks. But I'm gonna be honest with you, right now I probably have Sanji around like King level, Vice Captain to a Yonko level. I would give Sanji the edge because of how well he did against Queen. I would just give him the edge against a Vice Captain to a Yonko like King. But I have him around that for scaling. This is just a rough scaling, guys. I'm not really going too deep in thought with Sanji scaling. If Sanji's already that powerful, where he's doing amazing against Kizaru too as well, when he obliterated Kizaru's speed of light kick or speed of light attack, he did. Sanji obliterated it, and Sanji was doing pretty well. Had decent moments against the Gorosei as well. Sanji to me is not Admiral level yet, but he's close to Admiral level. And when he reaches Admiral level, it's all depending on if Oda wants to make him Yonko level or not. But my answer to how strong Scopper Gaban kind of connects to Sanji, because the entire chapter is paralleling Sanji and Scopper Gaban, the left hand to the Pirate King. So honestly, this could bring some good news to Sanji fans, but it also could bring some bad news to Sanji fans depending on how strong Scopper Gaban is, which makes the One Piece scaling community so happy, because the agendas are going to start. And Rayleigh's scaling affected Zoro's image, Scopper Gaban's scaling is going to affect Sanji's image, and people might actually start to like Sanji more because of Scopper Gaban. I'm not lying to you guys. I can see a fan base flip easily, because Sanji gets a lot of hate that's unwarranted, and I feel like he doesn't deserve it a lot. So that's my rough scaling of Sanji, which matters to Scopper Gaban and the overall concept of One Piece. Now I think Luffy versus Scopper Gaban is kind of going to solidify where Scopper Gaban is when it comes to his power scaling, but it's going to really tell if he's Admiral level or not. But that would be my guess right now, since Rayleigh is Admiral level in my opinion, and he rivals Rayleigh. And I think he was Yonko level in his prime for sure to go up against Kuzuki Oden. You guys all know how strong Kuzuki Oden is. And I think Sanji fans should rejoice. This could be some hype to Sanji. I always felt like Sanji would reach Admiral level, end of story, and fight Kizaru. But this could be some hype to Sanji, not just reaching Admiral level, This could be a lot of height to Sanji actually reaching Yonko level, which I never had in my bingo card. But with Scopper Gaban scaling in his prime and his old age, this could help Sanji big time. But yeah, if you guys want my opinion, I think Sanji, I think Scopper Gaban is Admiral level. In his prime, I think he was Yonko level. And this is my pick right now before he fights Luffy. And debate in the comments if you disagree, just debate in the comment section.